Good morning and welcome to the Worldwide Endtime radio news program. I'm your host, Brian DeLory. Unless you've been living under a rock, been in a coma, or have been asleep for the last 3 days, you've by now heard about the unexpected death of Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia. And it was just released earlier today during the Michael Savage program that Mr. Scalia seems to have died under suspicious circumstances. When the story originally broke back on Saturday, I believe it was reported that Mr. Scalia had died of natural causes. And, of course, the man is 79 years old, so that doesn't seem to be something we would be concerned about. But then, over the weekend, some facts about Mr. Scalia's death emerged, and nobody seemed to be reporting on them. And then yesterday, during the Michael Savage program, Michael Savage announced that Mr. Scalia had been found dead with a pillow over his head. I believe that by now that story has become national news, and in sort of a funeral type of pose. In other words, the man, nobody dies like that. I mean, you lie down and you die, and that's it. You don't pull pillows over your head and put your hands across your chest like a person who was lying in a coffin. So this seems to be something, at the very least, that we need to be concerned about. I believe, personally, foul play was involved. Now, why do I say that? Well, Antonin Scalia was the deciding vote on many of Barack Obama, the deciding vote against many of Barack Obama's policies that he was trying to implement that went to the Supreme Court. And a majority of the time, Mr. Scalia shot those policies down. He didn't allow them to pass through the Supreme Court. And most recently, and this would have been back, I don't know, sometime 5 or 6 days ago, and I'm not exactly sure what was at stake last week, but it was something that Obama had taken to the Supreme Court, and once again, Mr. Scalia was the deciding vote against what President Obama wanted. 5 days later, Mr. Scalia turns up dead, unexpectedly, but again, the man was 79 years old. Now, another thing I need to point out is that no autopsy was done. Mr. Scalia's body has been removed from Texas and is now, as I understand it, back in Virginia, Fairfax, Virginia, I believe it is. And up till this point, as far as I know, no autopsies have been done, and funeral arrangements are pending. So at this time, we don't know anything other than that the man died, and seemingly under suspicious circumstances. I mean, I don't know many people who have died with a pillow over their head, who have crossed their arms and crossed their chest like they're in the coffin already. I mean, sure, you do that all the time, right? When you lay in bed, you pretend you're dead. I'm so comforted by the thought of death that I often pretend like I'm dead. So if I happen to be in the middle of pretending that I was dead, perhaps you might find me in that position. If I die during one of those instances where I'm pretending to be dead, well, then you would find me in that position, obviously. And I'm just kidding. I never do that. Nobody does that. So obviously something's wrong. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, why would President Obama do this? Well, there are many issues pending, many cases pending in the Supreme Court concerning many of President Obama's policies that he's trying to get passed. And now with Antonin Scalia out of the way, we have a divided court, evenly divided. Eight. There's normally 9, of course, with Mr. Scalia's death, that leaves a vacancy of 1 person. And so anything that goes to court, it's going to be difficult for anybody to win. I mean, if you say 4 against and 4 that are for it, I don't know exactly how they determine this. I do know that if it's a case that's been to the lower court, and then it's decided in the Supreme Court, and if it's a tie, like 4-4, then it's automatically passed, whatever it is. And of course, as you know, President Obama has stated that he is bound by the Constitution. Now he cares about the Constitution. Any other time he doesn't care about the Constitution, but now when it's something that is convenient for him, he cares about the Constitution. So he has said that I am obligated by the Constitution to appoint someone to the Supreme Court. And of course, as you all know, that Ted Cruz has vowed to fight this, and many Republicans have vowed to fight it. Ted Cruz has said that he will filibuster any motion to appoint one of Obama's appointees to the Supreme Court. Now, Obama is a liberal, and he's going to appoint the most liberal activist judge he can to the Supreme Court. So now the majority was conservatives who were in the majority, and now it will be the liberals who are in the majority if this all should happen. And so whatever Obama wants, Obama will get. I can assure you of that. And that's why I believe something happened, something was done to Mr. Scalia, because he stood in the way of Obama's desires to destroy this country in every way he possibly could. Mr. Scalia obviously was a conservative, and he subscribed to conservative values, and so he shot down most of Obama's cases, and Obama's cases didn't pass through the Supreme Court. And so, again, Mr. Scalia stood in President Obama's way. And so I believe something was done. Whether President Obama was personally involved, I can't say with any degree of certainty. It certainly wouldn't surprise me, but I'm not saying he was involved. But somebody, probably above President Obama, somebody in the New World Order, wanted Antonin Scalia out of the way. And that's what I believe has happened. Now, I don't have a lot of proof other than the fact that Mr. Scalia's body was found in a very strange position, and it looked like it had been put in that position. Again, nobody dies with a pillow over their head with their arms folded across their chest like they're lying in the coffin in the funeral home. That's just doesn't happen. So it seems that somebody was doing that intentionally. And, of course, again, details will become forthcoming over the coming days. But I have to tell you, I'm sure that the liberal news media will try to spin this another way. I would be not surprised in the least to find that they don't report accurately many of the things that are discovered at the scene, the death scene of Judge Scalia, or Justice Scalia, as it were, and so I just don't trust the news media. They're going to try and spin this in Obama's favor, and so whatever happens in the coming days probably will be misreported, and we'll never get to the bottom of this. My concern is what effect will this have on America's future? Well, if the senators who have vowed to fight this are successful, well, then that means Obama will have to wait. Obama will not be able to appoint a new justice to the Supreme Court, and will have to wait until the elections of this year. Whoever wins will appoint someone on their side, obviously, God forbid Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders should win, if that happens, America's destroyed. You might as well order the flowers. If they win, we're finished. If either one of them win, we're finished as a country. That's absolutely, there's just no other way around it. There's absolutely no way America can survive even another 4 years of these liberal whack jobs. And if Donald Trump isn't elected at this point, because I believe he's the only man who can actually do the job that needs to be done, if he is not elected, then, of course, he's not going to run again, and there is no other person, really, that could possibly save this country from this decline we've been in ever since Obama took office. Really, it goes back even further than that, even up to George Bush, and so Bill Clinton. It was in decline then, but I mean, it's really hit rock bottom ever since Obama became the president. And so, we're looking at a very, very bleak future, if you want to call it a future, if Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders is elected. And, I mean, we're not going to have an easy time of it, even if Donald Trump is elected. But, so, my point to all this newscast today, if you want to call it a newscast, I consider it a newscast because it is reporting the news of the day. This is the big story of the day. I'm not preaching a sermon other than to say this. We all need, as Christians, need to be in prayer for our country like we've never prayed before, because a lot of bad things are happening. And, what is going on, what is truly going on behind the scenes, we really don't know. But I personally believe that there was foul play involved in Mr. Scalia's death, and that's most unfortunate. He was a nice man. He was a good man, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. Now, if they hadn't found his body in that position, then I would say, oh, well, he most likely died of natural causes. I mean, he was 79 years old, but because they have found the body in that position, it tells me that something is definitely wrong, and they rushed him out of Texas. Texas had the right to seize the body and order an autopsy. They didn't do it. I am very doubtful that the authorities in Fairfax, Virginia are going to do it, but of course that remains to be seen. But that is what is going on as I speak, and again, what we need to be most concerned about now is Obama's evil machinations for this country. I mean, he wants to appoint the most liberal whack job Supreme Court justice that he can. He's even, as I understand it, Loretta Lynch mob his name has been floated around. But it's too early to tell exactly how all this is going to play out. Hopefully, Obama will be stopped because, it's obvious. You could see in the speech he gave about Mr. Scalia's death that he was salivating. He just can't wait because he sees an opportunity to have all of his liberal policies to destroy America passed, and that will be his legacy when he leaves office. And it'll also destroy America, and he knows it. And so that's all I have to say for today, and I hope you all will continue to I'm going to be giving updates, so I hope you all will continue to listen. I'll be giving updates on the story as they become available. And again, pray for your country. We need prayer in this country like we've never prayed before. And that's all I have to say. And that's the end of the program. And as you all know, I have websites, exposingheresy.org, globalevangelismradio.com, endtimerevivalnetwork.org. These are 3 brand new websites. I have updated all of these sites. They now contain videos PDF files. There's a lot of stuff there, and I strongly urge you to check it out because I have videos uploaded from YouTube and other sources to the sites that I believe you will find to be a blessing. So check out the sites. And, of course, if you are so inclined, locate the donate button and donate to the ministries to help offset the cost of these websites. The monthly cost is fairly significant for me. I'm paying for the whole thing, and I will continue to do so gladly if that's what it takes. So that's it for today, and I hope to be back with you soon. I know I've been sort of taking it easy these days. Haven't been doing many broadcasts, but I hope to get back behind the microphone on a daily basis soon. And until that time, as always, I leave you with this reminder: keep the faith and defend the truth. Have a good night, everybody.